Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. How have you guys been doing? I hope you guys had a wonderful day. And let's get right back to where we left off yesterday because there is not much introduction to do. I just remind you guys that tomorrow I'm not streaming. As promised, I leveled up the Inquisitor and Jay. I don't remember the Inquisitor's name. Damn it, Henrix. It's technically an easy name to remember. I don't know why I never remember.
Greetings.
No, I don't like this. Let's go this way. Okay. I'm going to. Yeah. Come on, tell us.
Yes, I'm ready.
And this is
I
dubbed.
would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the Sacred Warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, when in doubt, save. That's one great advice. Like, I can't even stress that enough. hmm Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's not dubbed. Okay. Rogue Trader, we need to talk. Or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth The truth about how I ended up on Theodore von Valancius' ship, and about how sorry, and about the cultists we encountered on Floatfall. I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story, and you'll see why. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. When arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus' mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects and worshipped the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora had already appeared. She became an agent of divine will, in a way. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salis Prime. Uh, for a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest. A feral world away from convenient work routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. Yeah. Yes, now the planet is yours, my right. But it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I will explain in due time. May I continue? Yeah, continue. The description of Salis Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness, the order named after her. She died millennia ago when heretics cursed her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now serves as the resting place for the saint's remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter, and all others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one even knew its actual whereabouts. And suddenly I myself named after a saint came across this information. I realized that moment that it was important that I must journey to the planet and find the ship. And so I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to a newly discovered planet, Salis Prime. Yeah. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was important revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It was really a pilgrimage. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its stacks, if I had laid my hands on the remains of and the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's favor. Yeah, I'm glad you understand me. I had been called, and thus it was my business and mine alone. I imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The One Star is a relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the Order Pronatus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knew what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times, I don't know what it is. Uh, At times, calls it a banner or a set of armor or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain: it was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost with Argenta's death. What happened next? Defeat. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. It was I was expecting this though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I knew Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I knew all the legends about her. I followed her obscure clues, descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia, all the tales. And I was certain that I had found the way to the ship. And that's when I was attacked. And we were attacked. The old world, sorry, the world, ah, the words we heard in the Arctic shrine on Footfall, something about ways, doors, please addressed to some lord at the edge of daybreak. They were the same words as those spoken by those cultists who attacked us on Salis Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic, it was only by a miracle that I hadn't that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect I didn't connect to these events at first. The cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Salis Prime, the cultists attacking the ship, and Conrad's betrayal. What if these are all links in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valancius servants? What if I led those heretics? the sacred planet with my search. So how did you manage to escape from the cultists? I'm not really showing any emotion here. Theodora's Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue, and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened when they arrived. I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matter to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. I saw you with my own eyes how a member of your family. Saw with okay. How a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the arch enemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption or light of righteousness. And what did you find? A woman who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped me eradicate the cultist on Footfall. Quite literally, since we both used the rare, whatever. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request, a leader who's willing to honor those who laid down their lives for them and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust. And the way you acted in that moment, do you remember? There was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence. I was blindsided when you said when you said what you did. You sternly told him about the importance of grabbing the reins of one's own life instead of rushing to console him. Those were brave words. Honest. The fact that they were addressed to a thoughtless boy does not diminish their worth. I saw you in a new light in that moment. So just to clarify, that's what happened? Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Salus Prime to defend the relic from the heretics. But I was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. As if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down the servants of the arch enemy. In that event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead. The data that we collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall. I don't care what that reprobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Earth Trader. Will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and turn it to the people of the Imperium? Yeah, if it is important to you, I will help. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will, marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with us both on this path. Interesting. It's not really something in line with the Rogue Trader we are role playing as, but hey, it's fine. Alright, one thing I wanted to see. Okay, nothing. By the way, uh, actually, yeah. I was thinking of, as I said, I leveled everyone up. I removed some of Pascal's equipment. I could actually remove this. At the same time, more than Pascal, you know what? I think I'm removing him. So I'll change the equipment again. I know he deals a lot of damage, but I want to try Jay and Henrix. What does this do again? And this. I'm giving this to Henrix. Yeah. Yeah. This is for Iconoclast, so not for Henrix. Unless he has some Iconoclast. No, he's completely. Uh, nah. Well, his intelligence is definitely not. I was joking, sorry. What about this? He really doesn't need this. I'm giving him Halberds. He has these. Oh no, this is for Vanguard, so whatever. Yes. It's a bit sad, but it's fine. While Jay, she has this. Anything I can give her, like from anyone? No. I should give some of this shit back to him, but it's fine. I don't have much else to give him. No. None. I don't have anything else to give. Anything else to talk to with Argenta?
Lord Captain, your presence is welcome.
No.
And I wish to apologize for my prior coldness. After our first meeting, I was concerned that he would turn out to be another faithless offshoot of the von Valancius dynasty, like the traitor Conrad. But now I see before me a worthy leader and servant of the Imperium. I am glad to accompany you in your endeavors.
Ready to tell me about yourself
If
now?
such is the rogue trader's wish, although there isn't much I can tell, I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to know?
Where do you hail from?
Now that I can tell you, I come from everywhere and nowhere. I am the child of officers of the Imperial Guard. I was born in the hold of a warship.
Oh, okay.
Grew up following my parents' deployments from one planet to another, and lost my family in the flames of a righteous war. My memory is like wafts of smoke over a still battlefield.
Sorry if I
The
keep
grey
moving.
of a ship's plating. The strict cadence of life in military camps. My mother's uniform. I loved looking at it. Then, that battle. The rumbling, the shouting, and the soot. The screams of soldiers burning alive.
Yeah.
The gold of the regiment's Aquila. Untouched by soot or blood. The last unsullied piece of a world that was going mad. That was my last memory of my mother, and of my former life, before the Schola Progenium and the novitiate, before my trials, before the vows.
Tell me about that golden shard.
My own relic. It's the regiment's Aquila, or rather, the fragment that survived the attack, the explosions, and the fire. For me, it's a reminder that purity and radiance can be preserved, even in the heart of darkness.
Okay. How did you become one of the Adeptus Sororitas?
Become. It's such a strange word for it. It seems right, but is that how one talks about their destiny? If you're asking about the path itself, that's easy enough to answer. First, like many other orphans, I endured the Schola Progenium. Those years were rough, but I remember the hardship fondly. Few things can compare with the feeling of satisfaction from a past trial, even if it leaves your body aching from exhaustion, or your soul wincing in pain.
Understandable.
I was one of the best among my peers, and I was selected for the novitiate in the ranks of the Adeptus Sororitas. When the hour came, I passed the trials and took my vows. The most joyous day of my life. The Emperor's light has always been with me, but to accept it with all your heart, to utter the oaths, that is a rapture like no other.
But if you were so good, why did you end up in a non-militant branch? No, shit. I did it
I
again,
was one of
sorry.
the best among my... Have I ever... But that would be shameful weakness, almost heresy. Of course not. I was born for this. I live by the Emperor's will, and in his light, I myself am the light. I must be the light. For myself and those who ask for my protection.
Sorry for the interruption.
I was chosen to serve. But beyond that, I won't deny it. Few things elate me as much as the thought that the heretic felled by my shot will never again orphan a child.
Again, you are in a non-militant branch, though.
It is my pleasure to be candid.
Yeah?
Of course, my mission is all I can think
Tell me
about.
about Sister Agenda.
Gladly. Listen. Long ago, there was a blessed world. Thousands of stars covered the sky there, so bright that its denizens hardly knew the darkness of night. Thousands of rivers nurtured the soil. Thousands of gardens bloomed every spring, and at every moment, thousands of prayers were flying into the clear air, thanking and praising the Emperor.
Okay.
But one day, the people learned the meaning of darkness. Like a storm, accursed heretics who had sold themselves to the archenemy descended upon the planet. Shells flew from the sky that desolated whole cities and burned the gardens and filled the riverbeds with the blood of the faithful. Smoke and soot swallowed the skies and the 1,000 stars that had once shone over the world. Among the handful of survivors was one orphan who had watched all her family die, and the garden she'd grown up in burn to ash. But in her heart, she knew the absolute truth. Just these 3 words. The Emperor protects. And knowing that, she never looked away from the black, terrifying, smoke-covered sky. There were no more bright stars to be seen. Except for one. The one star. The bright star. The silver star shone in the sky. And when the orphan smiled at it, the one star fell right into her hands. All the faithful in every corner of the continent who saw the trail of the falling star recognized it as an omen and went looking for the place where it landed. And they rallied together. And with the light of the one star, they found their salvation.
Okay. The girl from the story, of course, that's Saint Argenta.
Yes, that was the beginning of her hagiography.
Hagiography,
It is
okay.
known that she lived on a world where heretics staged a terrible insurrection. They wiped out all life on the planet, except those whom Saint Argenta managed to save with the one star, and with the strength of her faith. After that, she traveled between worlds, gripped by turmoil on her ship marked with a silver star, and brought hope to the faithful. Numerous accounts confirm this. Her coming helped people turn the tide of the war and wipe away corruption before the Imperium's main forces even arrived.
I don't know, I'm imagining a ship, like, imagine black ship with a silver star. It's kind of weird. I don't know, it's kitsch.
Millions of people owed their lives to her. But the
Maybe not.
heretics, having realized their imminent defeat, sent the remnants of their forces after the ship with the silver star. It fell from the skies onto an obscure world. There are no definitive records of how old Argenta was at the time. In some chronicles, she's even called the Child Saint, but their credibility is questionable. Either way, she didn't live long, but she left a bright trail in her wake, like a falling star.
I mean, I'm gonna ask the fourth one, but we already
If I only
heard
knew.
about that.
Neither the hagiography nor the legends give a straight answer. Classical iconographers believed that the star turned into a banner woven from silver thread, which, when brought onto the battlefield, would shed light that blinded only heretics, but did no harm to the faithful. Most of them portrayed Saint Argenta as a girl carrying this banner. Others think that upon falling from the sky, the one star became a holy chainsword, which Argenta later used to strike down monsters and enemies of the Imperium. In some of the earlier engravings, Argenta is depicted wearing power armor with a silver star on her chest.
Okay.
One theological theory suggests that this armor was, in fact, the relic. Some even think that the one star is actually the ship on which Argenta traveled.
That could be a bit difficult to, retrieve.
I feel that my undertaking will be fulfilled when I find the answer that has eluded the Ecclesiarchy for millennia. I pray we find the way to Salus Prime soon. The ruinous powers must be aligned against us. They stand in the way of faith.
Okay.
One day we will reach Salus Prime and stand before the gates of Saint Argenta's ship. I know it. I believe.
Thank you.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations. I haven't.
Sorry, but you have nothing to tell me. Anything? No. Very good. By the way, sorry if I'm moving slow. The keyboard is again doing fuck all.
Lord Captain,
Yeah, do you know anything about this?
it is wise for a rogue trader to have caches where they can safely store important information. And utterly unwise to share the coordinates of such caches with anyone. Even one's most trusted associates. I'm afraid I do not know how to find the caches, but I can offer some help. Your predecessor used this numeric code to deactivate certain defense systems in her service. If I know Lady Theodora as well as I think, then I'm quite certain that she left her caches well guarded. In that case, this code will be useful to you.
Okay, thank you.
You have my complete attention.
Keyboard, please. What the hell? I can ask him this.
Yes.
Oh,
not
finally.
here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officer's mess.
Okay, okay. No, I need to read it. Okay. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my returning aboard your ship. Uh, I say number two. Your concern is unfounded. As long as there is no substantial reason for it, I hope there will be. Sorry. I hope there will be. There will not be one. To business then. The cult of the Final Dawn. The madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Coronis Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. Yeah, sir? You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Claire. Yes, initially our arrival in the Kronos Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenius, but there is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now I ask you to display humility and patience. Yeah, let's ask. Chaos treads softly, Claire. The main danger of secret cults and secrets is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruits presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the rogue traders' planets does not mean the dynasty head herself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valanches was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant. A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions if it is needed so. Uh, it is in your best interest to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself, and then perhaps you will get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. We'll see about that. Yeah, that is correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised that Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even in someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. I have spies on the Von Blanche's world. The person I mentioned is not a spy, but the secretary in the administratum. Yeah, in the administratum department on Dragonus. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate the threats to the Imperium, which the Coronos Expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Sclander. As soon as we contact the Dragonus, I will introduce you as the new head of the dynasty. I am sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words at least occasionally. Tell me more about the cult. Chaos worshippers. Most often, agents of the throne run into lone renegades stirring up trouble, insane prophets and hysteric visionaries preaching the end of days, a passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne were spent before we established the connection between those heretics. However, the cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune tellers. They cleverly spread their agents all over the Coronos Expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people on the Imperial world. There is a certain strategy to our actions that changes whenever we get too close, and finally, they have enough military power to have had the two ships that we had sent after them later discovered as wreckage. Sorry. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in and day out. After the events on Rykar Minoris, I suspect the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain, but the latest reports indicate it is your protectorate that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chances of getting closer to the heretics. Hello, welcome to the stream, and thank you for a new follow. I've already agreed to give you a place on board my ship. What else? It's all good. What about you? Having a good day? Reading conversation here, preparing to leave the station. The rogue trader should deliver to me the system that contains the system that contains the industrial world of Kiabagama. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blast engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. I will be frank, the answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of the cult usually go beyond solely inflicting countless stats and distraction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems in the Coroner's Expanse is already lost, and may the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. Yeah. What will you again propose? We destroy another planet? On record, Minoris, you made a decision that sent billions of souls into the grasp of the archenemy, an unreasonable and unforgettably high price for a small handful of people saved by your mercy. Do I consider it a worthy exchange? I most certainly do not. We'll make every effort to make sure such an exchange does not happen again. Of course I will. I will sentimentally. Of course I will, sorry. Sentimentality is a luxury I cannot afford. Yeah. He needed to have used the world sometimes. The good of the Imperium always prevails over the lives of its individual servants. I may sometimes falter, but that speaks of my weakness, not the generosity of my soul. Much hinges on the decisions made by the Inquisition, sometimes far more than ordinary servants of the throne can see. Why the suspicion? Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago, a vessel from the world. Okay. I have no doubts it will happen sooner or later, Claire. Chaos Marines siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely, they kept away until recently, pulling their puppets' strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines in the Cronus Expanse, and not an entire company. Fuck, that would be a mess. Yeah, a commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people and dozens of imperial words in their hands. Which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets. Lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled in the roots. Well, enough about that. Tell me about the Drukhari. The Drukhari, one of the branches of the Eldari, an ancient and vicious Xenos race. These creatures are living terror to ordinary people who will fall prey to their raids for the simple reason that the victims are not killed outright, but instead become their playthings. Just as you and I need air to survive, the Drukhari require psychic energy born from torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with uncanny expertise. Yeah, I know it's better to die than get caught. Their ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. Their stealth technologies greatly surpass the capabilities of a standard Imperium Auguran race. The objective of the raids is never to capture a world or a ship. No, they are only interested in fresh victims. After filling their holds with captives, they disappear. It's a webway, a different dimension which conceals their greatest stronghold, Komarach, the dark city of the Drukhari, from which no one can hope to escape. I do not know why the Drukhari stole Rykard's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's promises. Perhaps the Cenas themselves have played into the archenemy's design, or perhaps the Aurora's divinations in fact describe the Drukhari's actions. There is only one thing I can say about. So I can say with absolute certainty, there is no alliance between the Cult of the Final Dawn and the Xenos. It is simply impossible. Yeah, let's go with that. I do remember our exchange. For the time being, however, I would prefer to focus on my direct responsibility. Perhaps after Kavagama. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. And I'm here again. I need to go back. Man, that was a long conversation again.
You have my complete attention.
Yeah?
The cult's ordinary members are humans who have been corrupted by the archenemy, traitors to the Imperium, and accomplices of chaos. Participation in the cult's rituals always entails brainwashing, literally and figuratively. The longer cult members spend among other cultists, the less critically they think, and the more closely they resemble obedient livestock, stripped of their fear and instinct for
I mean, that's
self-preservation.
just,
The worst of them go to their deaths without an
you know,
inkling of doubt,
crowd,
likely to take hundreds and thousands of souls with them.
crowd thinking, if you want. I don't know how it's called.
As for those at the top of the cult's hierarchy, we have not yet managed to get a lead on all of the cult's leaders. I imagine that some of them are hiding in the depths of the Coronis Expanse. But those who are orchestrating the fanatics on nearby worlds are hiding very well indeed. Or receiving protection from above.
What do you mean, protection from above?
Governors, commanders, rogue traders. History is full of those who neglect their duty to the Golden Throne and seek allies in the wrong places.
Point taken. You seem to have been investigating this cult for some time.
We discovered the first traces of it as soon as we arrived in the Coronis Expanse. Since then, the more we learn, the better we see just how far the roots of this blight extend. Destroying individual cells is pointless. We must cut this beast off at its head.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish.
No, I won't ask him that, so no. Next companion, or more or less, let's talk to him. Nothing interesting. Goodbye. That was fast. No, whatever. Well, idiot time. The servitors are still T-posing, which is very annoying. Got a new story?
You bet I do, Lord Cap. Okay, so we went to Footfall once. Well, I mean, Lord Captain Theodora went to Footfall a lot. But on that occasion, she took me with her for some reason. My day had gotten off to a bad start. My head had been yammering since I woke up, but there was nothing else for it. I had to go. We arrived at the place, and what a place! All the gentlemen and ladies dressed to kill, showing off their encrusted implants, all clustered around little tables. Well, turned out it was a gaming den. And not just any gaming den, but one run by somebody with deep pockets for people with just as much cash to splash. You should have seen it. People gambling away planets in a game of regicide. Anyway, so the Lord Captain wanted me to help her beat some guy. So I tell her, the chips won't land in your favor. You'll get a bad hand. Don't sit down at that table, your ladyship. But did she listen? Of course she didn't. If there's one thing she never lacked, it's stubbornness.
Okay.
So they sat down and the cards were dealt. I'm hovering around like I'm not involved, but I'm keeping my eye on things. And everything in my head keeps getting louder and louder. Anyway, it's a good thing I realized in time that my mind wasn't going haywire over a losing hand, but something else. I made some excuse to drag the Lord Captain up from the table and took her away from that place. And a few minutes later, the room where we'd been Some wise guy had the same bright idea to bring a pet psyker along with him. One of those ones who just scuttle around in Footfall's underbelly. And the psyker just freaked out, I guess. After all the commotion, people went to see what happened in the room. And they'd all gone for each other's throats.
Ah.
Literally. With teeth. And I think they completely detached that asteroid from Footfall and pushed it off into open space so it would head off toward the local star.
Okay, bye. Not very interesting, if I have to be honest. Oh, Jay, new character, so we'll have to talk quite a
Allow
bit.
me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Sherin. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Sherin. I will watch your back, if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Any business you wanted to discuss?
Oh, Sherin, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me to invite you to a more private place. My words are meant for your ears alone.
I'll have to read again, won't I? The hell? Okay. Trina, the Exalted One himself brought us together the day you crossed Vladaim's threshold. He led us to the cargo and gave his blessing for its return. Do you know what people on my world say when such a thing happens? What's gained to be shared with your neighbor. I am sharing what I've gained with you. Please accept these humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly struck, friendship. Okay. Who the hell can use this? And this? Goddamn. Okay. Wonderful gift. I knew you would appreciate the Sinus' mastery of their craft. So, the matter I wanted to discuss with you is related to my business. You know, that I sell Xeno artifacts to my interested Imperial subjects, and Imperial trinkets to Xenos. Business is going well. My network runs even without my participation, but when it comes to expansion, well, that is where I hit a wall. Rivals envious my success, Falco especially. I am certain the theft of the cargo. I'm certain the theft of the cargo was his doing, but I can never predict what that Ashmag will do. And while the Imperium's authority may be fragmented in the expanse, it could crack down on people of my profession at any moment. Go on. If the rogue trader put a good word for me with the servants of the Adeptus Administratum, I could become an official trade representative of the Imperium. Just imagine it. A little scrap of paper will offer me and my agents protection against Ashmag's schemes. Against Ashmag's schemes, far better than any refractor field. And even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me, before I'll be a representative of the law in my own right. And the best part of all this is that this will cost you precisely nothing, Shrine. All you have to do is stop by the Administratum Palace and obtain a certificate from the Master of Seals. My My informants tell me that the place is located on Draganus, your capital world. You see, everything has aligned so wonderfully, and of course, I will repay you in kind. That sounds simple enough. I will help you. Now wait, let's see. Besides being in receipt of my eternal gratitude, won't it be beneficial to have someone in your retinue with the weight of authority behind them, rather than just another pawn? One slip of paper, and I will be able to extend my network of system far beyond Footfall. My agents will be your eyes and ears throughout the expanse. I will do it. Exalted One bless you, Shreen. I couldn't find a better business partner in all the expanse. Friendship is a gift from His Exalted One, and we must cherish it. And you will have no complaints about our friendship, Shreen. I may not be a trade representative of the Imperium just yet, but I can still help you with whatever you need. You must have some faction in mind that you would like to establish a relationship with. The Severe Drusians, the hot-headed pirates of the Cosmelica, you merely need to use my right words, like the key of a lock, and I will open their hearts to you. Or their wallets. I will arrange everything you merely have to ask. Okay, it gives me 2,000 to someone. I would like to check them. I don't think I can though now, of course. Well, I think I'm going with the pirates. Not a problem, Shreen. I will have my people put in a good word with for you in the right circles. I will humbly await for you to steer your vessel towards Uranus. The Mercatum Tabula Officiale. It sounds almost as majestic as the Warrant of Trade. If people could stop dragging me around.
May the Exalted One protect you.
Okay, you don't
Get
look
on
like a
board
typical
with our little
smuggler.
pup. No truer words have ever been said. I'm far more exciting than some small-time peddlers from Footfall. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Jai Amira Fatqin Tamiri Ash Ifrit, the 12th daughter of the Lord of Ifrit, a distant world at the fringes of the Imperium.
Okay.
The youngest child is destined to become a bargaining chip in the family's political games. But I was unwilling to accept such a fate, and wanted to choose what to become and which path to follow. When I learned the Exalted One watches over hundreds of other worlds amidst distant stars, I understood there was an entire world of opportunities beyond Ifrit. All I had to do was break the familial bonds tying me down and escape the planet. Which I did a long time ago.
Why do you choose to come to Corona's expense?
The Keronis Expanse. A gorgeous name, isn't it? But this backwater wasn't my original destination when I escaped Sherin. Oh no, it was the rumors of incredible freedom that brought me to the Keronis Expanse. Freedom that is generously bestowed upon everyone who can survive in these parts. All doors are open here. You can become a saint, a mogul, a kingmaker, or anyone you like, really. Here, hard work pays off. Unless you're used to lying by the roadside and complaining instead of toiling for the good of your soul, glory, wallet, or whatever floats your boat. I'm used to working hard, and so I found my blessing.
How do you escape from Ifrit?
I convinced my father I personally wished to oversee the inspection of imported goods. I had to get experience so I wouldn't bring shame on our family, didn't I? I made friends with traders, missionaries, and soldiers at the port. I listened to their stories, studied the charts, learned what documents I had to forge to escape the planet. A kind word here, a shiny coin there. And here I am, in the iron belly of a ship, braving the void in search of a new life.
Okay. Let's go with the third one.
Consider it a mark of my trade. This year, Xenos. Dumb-headed orcs. Who knew that we weren't the only ones to get tempted by the wreck of that raider? As for this treasure, I received it as a reward for a life that had been just a little too good. I was in a hurry to get to the Adeptus Amasacus after the Exalted One blessed me with immense wealth. I was 2 backstreets away from the den when a pathetic Ashmag attacked me, envious of somebody else's fortune.
Uh-huh. Ah, okay, so she's lying. Thank you for sharing.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
Yeah?
The dark side is the real Coronis Expanse, if you ask me. But what do you want to know about it, Shireen?
How do they do things in Footfall?
Dynasties drink with criminals. Rogue traders strike deals with the Casbalica. And dozens of ships stop off for a welcome break from a long voyage. Is there a more beautiful place in the entire Imperium? The Emperor is merciful to the meek and the powerful alike. There's a job for everyone as long as they have a head on their shoulders. And if you feel like talking to him in person, the statue of the Exalted One can be seen from any asteroid. You can pray to your heart's content.
Fair enough. Tell me about the Casbalica mission.
An ancient crime cartel that originated with the first settlers of the Calixis sector. It is run by shadowy clans with robber barons at the helm. Cross their path, and you risk making enemies all over the Coronis Expanse, or even the entire Imperium. As for the agents, they are just shameless, greedy scum.
Fair.
Every third person on Footfall is a Casbalican. But that doesn't mean all that rotten filth is acting together. I've been set up more than once just so some Casbalican can get one over on his rivals. And yet, the Casbalica is generous to its customers, if you can afford it. Anything can be obtained, organized, and transported for the right price. The customer is always right, unless they happen to be a rat. In which case...
Yeah. Are you one of the Casbalica's rumor barons?
What gave you such an outrageous idea? Was it my immaculate garment? My gorgeous jewelry? Do not worry, Shireen. I will let you know once I become a baroness, should the Exalted One will it. Just imagine the strong and fruitful alliance that could be forged between a rogue trader and the mastermind of the Casbalica.
How do you become a Casbalican agent?
It's not hard to do on Footfall. I spent a year working for good old Christo. He was a brave soldier who gave up the ghost in a scuffle with orcs, and then took over his business. Having a good head on your shoulders and keeping the Exalted One in your heart helps to establish new contacts quickly. Eventually, I gathered together a group of honest and loyal people, and it only took a few successful contracts for the Casbalica to take notice. I quickly settled on Footfall and started dispensing my wisdom to my protégés and subordinates. I lost the taste for getting my hands dirty.
Okay. Tell me about the cold trade.
It really is simple, Shireen. The Casbalica runs the Imperium's black market, offering special goods to those who can afford their services. Yes, I am talking about Xeno artifacts too. Alien weapons, technology, sometimes even certain kinds of living creatures. Unlike the rogue traders whose sacred warrants make them immune even from the laws of the Exalted One, Casbalican agents are used to hiding and covering their tracks. Nobody wants to draw unwanted attention, no matter who might take an interest. Especially now that the Coronis Expanse has a warrior of the Golden Throne as its watchman.
Okay.
Why not? The decision is yours, Shireen.
Yeah.
Listen, Shireen, the giver of happiness and the dearest of my friends. I am who I am. A cold trader, a Casbalican agent, and your partner. We each have a past, and that past is sealed. I'm not prying into your soul, am I? Well, have pity on mine. It has already been gnawed at by the Aji. And if you don't like the sound of that, we'll just go our separate ways.
Fine.
All relationships are based on mutual trust.
Tell me about your business
That goes
on
for
the
business.
Cronus Expanse.
My trade means knowing the right people and non-people, having the right connections, and making sure the precious goods find their way into the hands of my no less precious customers. My wisdom includes the knowledge of the enemies of humankind, be they Xenos or the lowest scum of the Imperium, as well as the latest knowledge about how they charge for any particular curio at the Footfall Market. Not even the most cunning Aji will deceive you as long as I am with you, Shireen. I promise you that. Whatever I have can be yours too. If your unfathomable wealth isn't enough for you already, I mean.
I'm not asking the first one because it's clear already, so let's go with the second one.
Thank you, Shireen. Being able to read and write is chief among them. You may not be aware, but this science is beyond the abilities of billions of the Imperium subjects. And yet they happily keep drudging along in their factories, fungi, and assembly lines. Me? I didn't escape Ifrit to consign myself to such misery. It was literacy that paved my path to copied orders, forged signatures, counterfeited papers. The wonderful things that make the wheels of bureaucracy turn in the right direction.
Are you really that rich?
Compared to the rabble on Footfall, perhaps. Compared to you, be it power or money, I still have a long way to go. I could purchase one of Footfall's asteroids, but not a planet. I could subjugate a few gangs from the shady districts, but not Vladaya. And so the answer to your question is no. I do not consider myself rich. I am not rich enough.
Okay. Yeah?
You're fun to talk. I grew tired of scribing endless contracts and agreements neatly tucked away on Footfall. Well, I did that for how many years? But here, among the stars, you are always balanced on a knife edge. Nothing thrills me more than the tension of a warp jump, or the danger that lurks around every corner on a planet. Footfall was beginning to make me fat and stupid, Shireen. I do not want that.
Okay. Ah, okay. She's afraid of something. Mm-hmm.
Do I trust the Trickster twins? By the Exalted One, no. The underhanded rogues of Footfall came up with that name for a reason. The tricks of those frenzied Ashmags are all about things far more intriguing than the honest and law-abiding subjects of the Imperium can imagine. On the other hand, this is why I am keeping them close. Kor and Tora know who lifted them out of the cesspit proudly called the Shadow Quarters, and who has been feeding that ravenous beast their insatiable lust for lucre. No, they are not going to betray me if only because they know I am now a part of your entourage, Sherry.
Okay.
They're not going to let the biggest pie in the Imperium pass them by without trying to get a slice for themselves.
Tell me about the scenes of the Cronus Expanse then.
Vicious, cruel, dangerous beasts. Humans hold little interest for Xenos. We are entertainment for them, a means to keep boredom at bay. A commodity. But some of them contact us once in a while using their own people. Do not deceive yourself by thinking you are safe because there are no Xenos in sight. Those Aji are as cunning as they are ruthless. They cleverly pull at the strings of spies and traitors, subjugate those who do not fall for the promised reward, transform the ones who resist their promises into soulless puppets. The Emperor watches over me, and that is why I still haven't succumbed to the fate of many of my associates who have lost their lives to the stringy scoundrels.
Okay.
I think we've said all there is to say on this topic.
Did you know my predecessor?
It is difficult not to be aware of the powers that be, especially ones like Lord Captain Theodora. But we never met personally, as the difference between our positions was far too great. Theodora was a mighty ruler, the center of her own universe, and I, a pathetic commoner, was nothing next to her. But you were kind to me, Shireen, and in my eyes that put you above your esteemed aunt, or whoever she was.
Yeah, it was a bit more complicated than that. Yeah.
The language on Ifrit, my home world, is quite different from the one spoken in the Coronis Expanse. We bestow more than one meaning upon each word, allowing our wise men to fully express their sagacious thoughts, and us lowly commoners our base passions and desires.
Oh, okay.
Take Agi, for example. That is what I call every piece of scum and villain, because Agi means evil and foe and pathetic worm unworthy of consideration. Or take Ashmag. It means fool and little brother and blind man who stumbled and would fall into a pit without guidance. Shireen means friend and comrade and roommate in a battle formation, like we are.
Yeah, I know about that. It feels like you lied there. But yeah.
Or lucky lady, you mean? My heart has been coveted by proud men with hard eyes, gentle maidens with sensual voices, imperious lords and fierce leaders of void brigands. Only rogue traders have not yet featured among Jai Hedari's intimate friends. Why do you ask, Shireen?
Yeah.
Oh, you ruthless, cruel creature. Would you really kill a person purely out of jealousy? Or 2 or 3 people? Rogue traders are a
Why?
fearsome breed. My heart trembles to witness it. How fortunate
Way
then that
sudden
you will
blood
not have to
there.
spill the blood of any lovesick innocent, for none has any rightful claim on me. They all languish in their passion at a respectful distance, mourning and cursing their cruel fate. If you are not simply amusing yourself by toying with my feelings, then why not give it a try? Go on. Or, wait. You haven't yet asked how I feel about being your romantic partner. Ask soon, Shireen.
I mean, I could do it. Not this. She would hate this probably because it's too unique and shit.
I simply cannot reject so ardent an admirer. To insult such sincere passion would be a wicked act in the eyes of the Exalted One.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that you are a wonderful conversationalist, Shireen. I will make a note of your invitation and make sure to take you up on it when I next get hungry.
Okay.
But if the feelings in your soul have become a fire that is burning you up from within, then you may express them by bestowing a gift upon your humble servant.
I need to see what I
Is there
can
a
tell her.
sweeter subject in the universe to discuss, Shireen? You have my full attention.
No.
Then let us
Nothing.
both be silent to... Oh.
I mean, could be interesting. Nothing else.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Why would I ask him? Ah! Fine.
Given the high status of the unit von Valancius and her services rendered to the Adeptus Mechanicus, perhaps a request for special leniency for the unit Jai Hidari. The sentence of oblivion without servitorization that is stipulated for her crimes may instead be commuted to immediate redemptive servitude in perpetuus.
The fuck?
Then, hypothetically, in time she would be able to compensate for a small portion of the sacrileges she has committed against the young Messiah.
Yeah, Pascal, thanks.
May
I'm
your
good.
labors
Nothing new. What? Why is the servitor dead here? You know, I'm gonna run around and see if the others have anything to say, but it's weird. Yeah?
Well, it would have to be something that screams, look how much the rogue trader loves me in the faces of everyone she meets. Like a fabulous gown beyond anything that even the noble women of Dargonus can acquire. A princess of smugglers would love the opportunity to rub the nobility's noses in her newfound privileges.
Fair enough.
Of course.
Uh-huh. What would you recommend? No. Yeah, I'll ask the others before doing this. Abelard?
Lord Captain,
My god, why am I asking him?
I used to give Genusian lilies to the girl I liked, but the species long since extinct. Now it lives only in my memory. Ask someone else, your ladyship. I am too old to remember how to charm young ladies. Lord Captain.
Well, why?
You have my complete attention.
No, I feel too much of a dick to ask him. I'm not asking. Can I actually ask the Boxmaster? No, okay, it's good. I'm kind of scared to ask Argenta.
Greetings. If you want to do her good, give her a dose of conscience and a fear of the Emperor. That is what
I
she
knew it.
truly needs. But if you want to please her, give her some meaningless jewelry, expensive and shiny. Such baubles wield magical power over hearts like hers.
Well,
Yeah.
I know very little about how ordinary couples come together. The books I have read always skirted around that side of life, keeping silent on the matter. A heartfelt poem,
Sorry,
perhaps?
I'm replying to a
I'm
message.
not sure Jai enjoys poetry, though.
Okay, sorry.
I haven't.
Let's go pick a gift. I don't know what I will choose, but we'll see about it. I feel like the suggestion we had are like terrible. Yeah. I mean, we've told like this or this. It's terrible. Why? It's so little compared to what we can actually do. A void ship can be interesting. Fuck that, I'll give that a call. I'll give her a colony, you know? Let's see if she likes it. Yeah. Let's see if she has any dialogue about it yet.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored with our... Is there a sweeter subject in the universe to discuss, Sherry? You... Hush, Sherry. Let's not scare off the wonderful feeling that weaves a pattern of passion between us in...
Fine,
Then let
fine,
us both be silent.
It's finally time to leave this station, or asteroid if you want, and we'll end up the stream with that. Remember, tomorrow we are not streaming. Oh, wait. Lord Captain, we are once more within reach of the Von Valensis Protectorate. Of utmost urgency is restoring communication with your planets and bestowing the wisdom of your decrees upon their stewards. Developing planets and developing colonies, claiming new territories, and establishing trade links. All this is now your privilege and burden. We got the mobile extraction. Let's see something. Like, what if I do this? No, I can't do anything. Okay. So it's a dead world, like for real, for real. Well, let's open this. I think I don't know what I'm doing, if I have to be honest. Okay, travel between systems is fraught with mortal peril and takes place in another dimension known as the warp. Okay, I know. Click the circular button at the bottom of the screen to have the ship's navigator chart new routes to the system you have selected. To initiate travel, click on a system and press the warp travel button. Route's color is indication of its danger level. Green is safest, yellow there may be something wrong, orange high probability of ship coming under attack, even in the warp, and red routes are sure sign that the ship will be assaulted by hostile forces. Ah. Okay. Charting your routes. Ah, okay. They're all uncharted systems. Okay. Ah, to the Imperium is like terrible. Okay. I mean, they explained us to be. Let's go here then. Why now? The fuck. Okay, sorry. I thought she was. Ah, yes, she was. Hmm, yeah.
Shireen, there you are. I've been waiting for you.
Well, what are you doing here?
Sating a hunger greater than any bodily appetite. My curiosity. You see, a person's face, their clothes, their manner is all just a mask. Smoke from the lips of a fire breather designed to hide the truth. But the contents of chests and cupboards, they are the reflection of the soul, in which the wise can glimpse another's heart. I have been wondering what kind of person you truly are.
I think you were trying to rob me.
Shireen, you besmirch my heart with the black ink of bitterest insult. If you do not trust me, search me.
You want me to search you?
How else am I to prove my innocence, Shireen?
Okay. Why do you turn the camera in this stupid way? I mean, maybe because they don't want to show the movement, which is a bit fucked. Uh-huh.
Keep going, Shireen.
Fine. She likes it.
Thank you. I loved the gift, Shireen.
Yeah, what would you give me in return?
Everything the rogue trader desires.
This. I think it's a stupid idea. But I didn't care. Because it's as stupid as it is, I think it's. Wait. What the fuck? Why are my character's hair black? What? I'm saving here, and I'll see you guys in 2 days. I am very excited to continue the exploration finally. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good one.